en la ciencia.
Welcome. Come on in.
Boys, we're at a special place today.
So special.
Texas Card House in Dallas. First time in Dallas, let's go.
We were one of the first 40 people to pre-register
Obviously.
for this card house, meaning we get to show up 2 hours before anyone else opening day. VIP treatment, first to sit down at the tables. You can check online, there's already 80 people on the wait list right now. We get to skip all that and play cards for hours in this new place.
Here on Next Gen Poker, you'll see the first cards dealt at Texas Card House in Dallas.
Let's have a day.
Let's have a day.
I can confidently say this is the first bathroom vlog at TCH Dallas. Hands down. Just got our membership card. We are number 24. I feel like I'm at Disneyland. Gotta get the nerves out of the system, just play our game. Hopefully we run good. I'll keep you guys posted. First hand for me at Texas Card House Dallas is gonna be King Jack of Spades under the gun. I raise it up to $10. We're playing 1-2, 9-handed. We get calls for middle position and the cutoff. We're going 3 ways to a flop out of position. That flop comes jack high, jack 6-3 with 2 clubs. I c-bet for $20 and only middle position calls. The turn is the 7 of diamonds, so the 4-5 straight gets there, but don't think we can be too scared of this card, and we still need to charge. There's tons of value to be had from flush draws and weaker jacks. So I size up to $45, little more than half pot, and he makes the call very quickly. The river is potentially one of the worst in the deck, guys. It's the queen of clubs. The flush gets there. Queen Jack passes us. Just overall a horrible card. I want you guys to listen to what happens when I check this over to him.
All in.
Yep, snap jams all in. Huge bet. I think this is a pretty clear-cut fold, as every draw has basically gotten there at this point. I make the fold, and I want you guys to look at what happens next.
Not low.
Yep, I forgot. There was one draw that didn't get there, and that draw was specifically 2-4. The nut low, as this gentleman says, does not get there by the river, and he bluffs on his missed draw. He gets one through on us, so good for him. We'll pick our heads up and move on to the next one.
Here we are sitting with ace-10 of hearts, 9-handed at Texas Card House. I'm in the low jack, I bet $10. The hijack makes the call, the cutoff makes the call behind, and the small blind and the big blind from the call themselves. It's Texas poker, no one's folding around here. A lot of action. We go to a board, which is 3-4-5, 2 hearts. Terrific board for us. We see the small blind, who's an aggressive player, lead out for $30 immediately. And the big blind calls as well, so I'm really liking the situation. I see no other reason but just to make the call here. Putting the right odds to hit my flush, and I have 2 overcards as well. The cutoff behind me makes a call 2, which sizes up the pot to $170. We get to a turn, and we immediately get there, the jack of hearts. Now the small blind slows down, he checks, and the big blind checks to me, and I think that I need to be betting here, as there can be a lot of straights, 2 pairs, flop sets that are going to be in the small blind's bet and then checking range after the 3rd heart comes. I can get value from all those hands, plus the other guys behind me might have lower flushes than me. So I decided to bet here to the sizing of $100, which isn't that much bigger than half pot. But looking back, I realized that at a 1-2 game, the sizing of $100 is a very strong bet. So when I do bet and when the jack of hearts comes out there, I am repping a flush pretty hard. The cutoff makes the fold, the small blind folds, and the big blind folds pretty quickly as well. Can't complain about the way that hand turned out. Didn't look like anyone had anything too strong, and we take down a pretty sizable pot early on.
Next hand for me, we look down at ace jack offsuit in the hijack. Folds to me, I raise it to 10, and we get 1 caller in the button, the same gentleman who bluffed us in the last hand. The flop comes queen 10-4 with 2 clubs. So we flop a gut shot, a backdoor nut flush draw, and we have an overcard with our ace. I c-bet for $10 and he makes the call. The turn is an offsuit 9. It now gives us an open-ended straight draw. With this added equity, I'm going to continue betting here as a semi-bluff, and I size up to $25. and he makes the call again. So let's look to improve on this river. Nope, Texas Card House Dallas is not feeling friendly on its opening day. The river is a dud, 3 of diamonds, and now we're left with a decision. We can either check and basically give up and lose the hand, or we can see if we can fire that third barrel and take it down. I elect for the latter. I make a bet of $50 and slide that bet out. Hopefully this can get through. We see a nice little angle shoot from this gentleman. He thinks it over and lets it go. We get this one through with ace high. A nice little confidence builder at Texas Card House Dallas. Let's see if we can ride this momentum.
Here we pick up pocket 7s, under the gun limps, and we are in middle position. I decided to just limp behind him as it is Texas. We're going to get, when we raise, we're going to get calls. The pocket 7s don't play that well with a lot of players behind me. So we see a call from the button in the small blind. We go to a flop, which is a great one, 2, 3, 7. I flop top set, but the board is really dry. It's a rainbow board, so I decided to just check here, and I want to let people catch up. I don't think there's that many draws that I should be too worried about. So we do see action check around, and the next card is a queen. When it checks to me again, I decided to target just that, a queen, a pair of queens. I bet $15.
I overbet because I know a queen will call.
And we see the button small out make the fold, but the big blind's interested. He makes the call, and under the gun player folds behind.
We go off to a river card, which is a pretty spectacular one. It is a queen, which gives anyone who hit a pair on the turn trips, and me the full boat.
So now I'm in between either betting small and letting him just raise me, or betting pretty big and raising bigger than the size of the pot. I go for the second decision. I bet $50 over pot, and he immediately flashes a queen to me and makes a quick call. Flip over pocket 7s. The table reacts, and we take home the pot. Pretty sizable pot. Great run out for our hand. Matthews and chalk as we take in a nice pot. Very glad I checked the flop and got that extra value on the turn and river.
This hand, we look down at 5, 6 of spades in middle position. There are a ton of limpers. I decide to limp along with them. Definitely not my standard route, but we're gonna do it for this hand. There's a few more limpers, including the buttons, small blind and big blind hop in. Essentially a family pot here. We're heading to a flop a lot of ways, and the flop comes 6, 7, 2 rainbow with 1 spade. So we flop middle pair, backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. Checks all the way to the button, who bets $10. The big blind calls, and I'm gonna make the call as well. The turn is another 6. We turn trips. Love to see that. Again, checks to the button, who now bets $20. I consider raising here, but I think it's better to just call, given that we are almost like a family pot here, and he could have a boat already, or maybe a 6 with a higher kicker. So I definitely think we're good here a lot of the time, but I'm going to proceed with caution. So I make the call. The river, heads up, is the 10 of clubs. Now when it's my turn to act first, I'm worried that his 7x holdings, his holdings that were top pairs, will just check back this river because it is an overcard. So I don't want to let that happen. I decide to bet on this card, and I bet $45. Now let's see how he likes that. He doesn't like that. He doesn't think that's enough. He raises to 175, almost quadruples the size of my bet. And now it's time to think. This bet is just so big. I've called the whole way, and now I'm leading into him on the river. So I don't think there's any reason for him to believe I'm holding anything weak. I think he knows I have a strong hand. I think he's trying to capitalize on a monster that he has. We let it go. I asked him to show for the vlog. He was a very nice gentleman, but he does not. He instead gives us a nickname.
I get titled as asshole in the 5 seat. that's gonna be the title. Asshole in the 5 seat. Asshole in the 5 seat.
We pick up ace jack offsuit under the gun. Here I bumped up to $12, which was my standard size of this table under the gun. We see the person to our left under the gun +1 make the call. The button make the call behind, and the blinds get out of the way. And we're off to a flop, which is queen 4, 5, 2 spades. Not great for us. If we did have ace of spades, I might continue here with the c-bet. But instead, I just decided to check here, and the other 2 players checked behind us. So that is good news. We're off to a free turn card, which is the 10 of diamonds. Here, I decided to lead out for $20. I could rep ace 10, I could rep pocket 10s for a turn set, I could rep king 10, a lot of cards that I can rep here for value. So I'm only going to plus one player makes the fold, which is good news, but the button is sticky and he calls behind for $20. So we're off to a river, which is no improvement to us. It is the Queen of Hearts. The board pairs, and now I decide to give up and check, hoping that ace high is good, and the button just going to check back with his misdraws. Well, that is not what happened. The button decides to bet $50 here. And now you can see me going into the tank. And you might ask, what are you doing going to the tank? You've got ace high, just fold. However, I saw this same player bluff Rosey with what he called the nut low 2-4 earlier in the session. So I'm not just going to sit here and muck my cards because I got ace high. His line doesn't make any sense. If he had a queen, which he's obviously repping with this big size $50 bet, he would have bet the flop, as he can get value from flush draws or just pocket pairs on the flop. But he decided to check the flop, and then he called the turn, and now he's betting big on the river. I don't understand what he's repping. I don't think he's repping a 10 here. The 10 would probably just be happy checking back with their mid pair. So for all those reasons, I decide to toss a chip in the middle, and he tosses over king jack offsuit. We flip over ace jack, and the whole table gets a little kick as I take in this pot. Very happy that I found a way to make the call here. Chipping up as promised. A lot of action here at Texas Card House. What's up, guys? Just finished our first session at Texas Card House in the premier first night ever.
VIP access.
Hey, we ended up cashing for $510 and minus the rake, 400 something. Ended up very good, profitable day.
For me, I have some notes on my statistics. In for 410, started off slow. Out for 459. So we did make $49 at the poker table. We did play for 5 hours times 13 bucks per hour, so that's 65 coming out. And I purchased 2 Coca-Colas to keep me sharp and caffeinated for $1 each, so that's $2. So if we calculate that, we lost $19 on the session, but this was worth $19. And you know what it's all about? It's all about the next gen net. You add us two together, if we're in the black, I'm happy.
Yo.
So Frankie carried us today, I'll carry us another day.
Let's go.
Very excited for what's to come, guys. This was awesome.
A lot more action to come, higher stakes, more videos. Just subscribe.
We'll talk to you guys later.
All right, catch you next one. Peace.